you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you choose to go? To the top of Mount Everest? To the depths of the Mariana Trench? Or perhaps you'd be intrigued by exploring mysterious places like the abandoned stations in Antarctica. There are indeed places in the world that completely defy the laws of nature and invite us to uncover their secrets and enigmas. First, I would go to a place in Siberia that both humans and animals avoid, the Patomskiy Crater. With a height of 40 meters and a diameter of 76 meters, the crater seems to be carefully nestled within the bright green vegetation. Discovered over 70 years ago, the origin of the crater remains unknown to scientists. If the crater had been formed by a meteor impact, we would have detected remnants and a fusion crust, but there is no trace of that. On the other hand, if secret nuclear tests had been conducted in the area, we might detect this by analyzing background radiation. In 2005, an expedition was sent to the crater to answer these questions, but unfortunately, the project leader died suddenly just 5 kilometers from the site, halting the mission. This story only deepened the mystery of the crater, leading to further research in the following years. Scientists have proposed several hypotheses. Some suggest that the crater was created by the fall of a cylindrical object that compressed the rocks to a depth of 100 to 300 meters. Another theory suggests that Patomskiy still has volcanic activity and is filled with pockets of methane gas. However, there is no concrete evidence supporting these theories, keeping the region's mystery alive. Imagine walking alone in the middle of the desert and your phone stops working. That would be terrifying, right? Now, imagine a place where everything turns to stone. It might be hard to believe, but in the Mother Shipton cave in North Yorkshire, England, anything that falls into a water well inside the cave petrifies within a few months. How does this happen? In the 16th century, people believed that the witch Mother Shipton had cursed the well. The fact that the cave looks like a giant skull from the side only heightened the fear. However, scientists have discovered that the magic of the well lies in the high concentrations of calcium carbonate and calcium sulfate in the water, which promote the formation of stalactites. This process is actually not petrification, but the deposition of minerals on objects, similar to the formation of stalactites. Despite this scientific explanation, tourists from around the world continue to visit the cave to see this unique natural phenomenon. Since the 1930s, locals and researchers have been trying to unravel the mystery of the lights that appear in the Hessdalen Valley in northern Norway. These lights, which can be white or red, sometimes float over the valley for long periods and other times flicker constantly or leave trails in the sky. The phenomenon is more frequent in winter, between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. In 1998, an automatic measuring station was installed near the valley, equipped with cameras, radars, and devices to record environmental parameters, operating 24 hours a day. Despite recording the lights, their origin and formation remain unknown. Researchers suggest several theories, including the possibility that the lights are related to scandium deposits in the valley. According to this theory, a combustion process involving oxygen, hydrogen, titanium, and other not fully understood elements might be occurring. Another hypothesis is that the lights are formed by microscopic calcium crystals present in plasma, produced by decay and ionizing radiation. Additionally, some scientists suggest that the Hessdalen lights could be the result of a piezoelectric effect, where the compression or stretching of crystals generates electrical charges. The valley's rocks contain many quartz crystals, which could generate these electrical charges. However, so far, there is no evidence supporting these theories, and the Hessdalen lights remain one of the most mysterious atmospheric phenomena today. Now let's move to another continent, specifically to the state of Minnesota in the USA. Travelers and researchers are trying to unravel the mystery of the Devil's Kettle waterfall. At the point where the Brule River splits, the water falls over a rocky outcrop and disappears into a mysterious whirlpool. Various attempts have been made to trace the water's path, including using GPS devices, ping-pong balls, and colored dyes, but nothing has worked. Anything that enters the whirlpool is sucked in and never seen again. Jeff Green, a hydrologist from the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, came closer to solving the mystery. He measured the volume of water before and after the river split and found almost no difference, suggesting that the water somehow returns to the river. However, he was unable to locate the point where the water reappears. Even so, Green's efforts may aid future research. The Great Blue Hole is located in the Atlantic Ocean, near the coast of Belize. From above, the formation resembles a massive dark blue ink blot on the turquoise surface of the ocean. This vast underwater cave has a distinctive color due to the depth and composition of the water inside it. 15,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, the sea level was 100 meters lower than it is today. As the sea level rose, limestone caves were gradually inundated, leading to the collapse of their roofs and the formation of this circular hole. It wasn't until 1931, when the famous French explorer Jacques Cousteau descended to the bottom of the Great Blue Hole, that it was confirmed to be a natural formation and not a hiding place for alien secrets or ancient civilizations. Cousteau measured its depth, which reaches 124 meters. Even experienced divers are advised not to exceed 90 meters of depth due to a hydrogen sulfide layer that makes the water toxic. Interestingly, the Great Blue Hole is one of the most photographed underwater features, but when researching images of the Mariana Trench on Google, many people often find photos of the striking blue hole, despite the Mariana Trench being thousands of kilometers away. This contrast adds to the fascination and mystery surrounding oceanic exploration. In Kazakhstan, there's a place that journalists call Sleepy Hollow. This village, known as Kalachi, doesn't have any unique plants or architectural wonders. However, upon arriving there, you might experience memory loss, illness, hallucinations, and even sleep for several days. It sounds illogical, right? When cases like these began spreading among the residents, the town went into alert and started thorough investigations into the air, soil, and water of the village. Dozens of theories about the residents' diet, chronic illnesses, or bad habits were tested extensively, but none were confirmed as the cause of the sickness. Scientists then turned their attention to the nearby abandoned uranium mines. During these investigations, they discovered that radon levels in the air had increased, but experts concluded that radon couldn't cause the sleeping sickness. Later, some researchers focused on the groundwater and found that all the residents were drinking from the same source. Byron Crape, an epidemiology professor at Nazarbayev University, started investigating the case and suggested there might be a secret chemical weapons factory near the village. According to his theory, factory workers might have disposed of a barrel containing chemical waste in one of the inactive uranium mines. Over time, the barrel could have rusted and leaked, contaminating the water supply. Unfortunately, Crape has not been able to prove this theory yet, as it's too risky to enter the mine, given that the area could collapse at any moment. On the other hand, the official explanation for the sleeping sickness is that, due to the uranium deposits, gases are occasionally released from the Earth's crust, reducing the oxygen levels in the air while increasing carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide levels. In fact, there hasn't been a single case of sleeping sickness in Kalachi in the past 7 years, but scientists are still diligently working to solve the mystery of this phenomenon. Now we are heading to the town of Piedmont, Italy. This region is famous not only for its quality wines and truffles, but also for a unique tree located between the towns of Grena and Casorzo. What does this mean? It's a tree formed by the union of two species. As you can see, a cherry tree has grown on top of a mulberry tree. However, no one knows how the cherry tree managed to root itself in such a peculiar position. A popular theory suggests that it is possible for one plant to grow on another. These plants are called epiphytes and are commonly found in nature. Among them are orchids, some types of pineapple, ferns, and cacti. However, epiphytes are usually small and don't live very long. The doubletree of Casorzo, or Bialbero di Casorzo, defies all expectations about epiphytes, as it is very old and the cherry tree alone is about 5 meters tall. How did such a peculiar tree grow? According to one theory, a bird dropped a cherry pit onto the mulberry tree. Then, the cherry seed slowly germinated, growing down the trunk of the mulberry tree until it rooted in the soil. Surprisingly, the two trees have coexisted very well for decades. Both receive water, sunlight, nutrients, and even enough space from the soil. The Namib Desert is filled with national parks boasting incredible wildlife and the largest sand dunes on the planet. The region also has quite a few mysterious characteristics. In the Namib-Naukluft Nature Reserve, there's a phenomenon that has puzzled scientists for over 100 years: the fairy circles. The entire surface of the desert, stretching over 2,000 kilometers, is covered by these mysterious grass-formed circles. Look at this image. The soil is surrounded by grass in a circular shape, but there's no grass in the center, and no circle overlaps another. Additionally, these circles seem to be alive, appearing and disappearing suddenly. Scientists have calculated that the life cycle of the circles ranges from 30 to 60 years. So, how did the story of the strange circles in the desert arise? Currently, scientists have two theories about the origin of the fairy circles. The first suggests that the phenomenon is caused by a specific type of termite. According to this theory, the termites burrow into the sand and damage plant roots, allowing rainwater to infiltrate the sandy soil, which is necessary to maintain the termites' moisture. Eventually, the plants die in a circle around the insect nest. The second theory states that the fairy circles result from a battle between plants for moisture and soil nutrients in the desert's arid environment. Plants in these areas need to organize and compete for resources, positioning themselves to use the available water most efficiently. However, neither theory fully explains the circles. How do we explain the tall grasses around the circles? Or, if it's all about plant behavior, why do the circles appear and disappear? And why doesn't this happen in other regions with similar conditions? In fact, a group of scientists combined the two theories, and the result was quite logical. They modeled areas in Namibia where termites and plants interact and began studying from there. Even so, discussions about the phenomenon continue. Welcome to Taylor Valley in Antarctica. In this region, there is no snow, and strong winds, reaching up to 300 kilometers per hour, sweep everything in their path. The blood falls are located right here. Of course, this waterfall is not made of blood. But why doesn't the water freeze in this area, where the average annual temperature is -7 degrees? And why is it red? In 2017, a group of researchers used geolocation radar to discover a saltwater lagoon beneath the waterfall, explaining why the water doesn't freeze. Saltwater freezes at lower temperatures than freshwater. Additionally, they discovered microbes in the lagoon that feed on sulfates in the saltwater and transform them into sulfides. These sulfides react with the dissolved iron in the water, likely coming from the surface. Scientists have been searching for iron particles in the water for years, but haven't had success. However, in 2023, a significant breakthrough occurred. A team of scientists led by Ken Levy from Johns Hopkins University identified nanocrystals composed of iron, silicon, calcium, aluminum, and other chemical elements. The researchers concluded that the iron in the nanocrystals, when binding to oxygen, turns the melted water red, and the high concentration of iron, chlorine, magnesium, and sodium gives the waterfall yellow and orange hues. It seems we are getting closer to solving this mystery. Even so, many similar mysteries still exist in our world. What do you think of these areas? Leave your comments. Until the next video.